What up, y'all? Mrs. Z Nation and aka Savage Armor Junior Giraffe. Welcome to another episode of the Dark Device. Today, we got another card spotlight. Today, we're going to be talking about Machining Spark Hercules V Series version, aka the card that failed us all. Alright, so this was our very first VR that came out during the first reboot of Vanguard. And I gotta say, man, I had so much hope for this particular card, and Bushiroad just kept dropping the ball after dropping the ball after dropping the ball, and everything else like that. It had so much potential to be a very threatful card, and it never happened. It never happened at all, or anything else like that. Now, you're kind of wondering like why or anything else like that. Well, it's pretty simple. Uh, it just basically overall comes down to two particular things. The first one is there's no synergy with the card. And then the second thing is there's no synergy with machining. So what do I mean by all this? Alright, so one of the major details that this card has is that it restands all of your units and force rests all your opponent's units. All of your units gain plus 5k, and all of your opponent's units gets minus 5k until the end of your opponent's next turn. This is actually a pretty decent effect because that means that you don't have to do very high attack in order to force your opponent to ditch cards from their hand and whatnot, which is actually understandable. However, there's also one major problem as to why this card has little to no synergy whatsoever. You want to know what that reason is? I'll give you a quick second. Alright, if the reason is there's no other card in Mega Colony history that minuses attack, you're 100% correct. So yeah, man, there's really no other cards that actually has an effect similar to Spark Hercules. There's also no other cards that has any type of support that actually utilizes his effect. Except maybe a few. Alright, so as far as the minus 5k, not really, but as far as restanding, there's obviously like a lot of units that really benefit off of that particular effect besides just regularly restanding your units. You had cards like maybe Water Game for a prime example, where like if it got restood by any means necessary, you counterblast one, put it back into the soul, and draw two cards. I mean, that was kind of it was a weird effect though, but it was actually kind of sort of interesting at the end of the day. But at the same time, there was hardly any other effects that really had any type of synergy with this card whatsoever. Then you got the machining thing, where for some odd ass reason, Bushiroad just went straight up brain dead when trying to figure out how to make synergy with machining. Because it seems like every time, and I cannot stress this out enough because I've mentioned this multiple times. I mentioned this mad times. Yo, every time machining got support, it seems like they did something completely different compared to the previous support. It's all like, for a prime example, look at Ornamental. I would consider Ornamental the main grade 3 for the second wave of machining support. The moment she hits the field, regardless of his vanguard or rear guard circle, every single rear guard rests themselves and they all gain plus 5k. My issue with this is, if you were to play this card on a vanguard circle, how in the living hell you gonna restand all your units? There was hardly anything that allows you to restand units altogether, and the only thing that made you restand everything globally is, guess what? Spark Hercules. So my thing is, oh, maybe this card wasn't meant to be played on the Vanguard circle. Maybe this was meant to be played on the Rearguard circle. So now you have this thing where you have this little combo where you have ornamental. She uses her ability on the Rearguard circle. She force rests every rear guard, including herself. Everybody gets 5k. You restand everything with Spark Hercules, and then you'll get plus another plus 5k, and everything that was rested is restood and whatnot, which is understandable. So basically, what you mean to tell me is that your opponent's Vanguard is minus 5k, and every single unit that's not your Vanguard is plus 10k with a counter blast too. So you mean to tell me out of a counter blast 2, all I get is 10k? Like, think about this for a second. You had units that was on Spike Brothers that literally said, put itself into the soul, recall a unit with the exact same name from the deck, and you gain plus 10k. No counter blast, no soul blast, no discarding a card whatsoever. But in order for me to get 10k, I have to do this lengthy ass combo and sacrifice 2 counter blasts, which is dumb as hell. I understand that the whole thing was 2 counter blasts because, let's be real, it literally came out in the second wave of any type of support whatsoever when we had the new series. I mean, when we had the first reboot. So I mean, I can understand that, but still. And then it didn't even help when we got like set 10, when we got Metro Bullet, where Metro Bullet was actually pretty good, but guess what? They also asked for a lot of other stuff. Oh, now it turns out that you need to rest yourselves in order to get certain effects to pop off. It's all like, and then you have Scatterhorn, where I feel like that card has so much potential, but of course they fucked that card over too, and I'll probably make a video on that sometime soon though, but so stay out for that. Overall, man, I feel like this card has so much potential, and Bushiroad kind of failed everybody with the lack of synergy. Like, every time like we were getting support, I was like, hey, why not have support that is more dedicated to making this card work? And we never got it. However, there is something that I did try a while back, like maybe about a month and almost a month and a half ago. I've actually tried to make a standard version of Spark Hercules without using the machining engine. Like, the only machining card that was there was like actually it was 2. It was Stag Beetle and Scatterhorn. Those are like the only 2. But I'm gonna be real with you, that deck was kind of interesting though, but it was also trash at the same time. Here's the reason why. So I use like a lot of the newer cards, like the Giraffe grade 1 and grade 2, high class Moth, and a lot of the other stuff, that all the generic stuff that would have helped Mega Colony, like Strive and whatnot. It kind of works in a way, but a couple of things that I noticed that I ran into problems was consistency and defense. I feel like that the deck had no defense whatsoever, and if you're going against any XL clan, you'll just constantly get clapped. The second one is what was another issue that I had with this particular deck? So I said defense, and then I also said, consistency. There'll be times where I won't get into pieces that allows me to like countercharge in order to use like his effect more often or anything else like that. And then there was also not having a full field if I went against a clan that would constantly like blow shit up on my field and whatnot. So that was also another thing as well. But it was weird, man. It was actually a pretty interesting experience, but at the same time, like I thought I can bring redemption to the card. I thought I could, but apparently I couldn't. So we just gonna leave it at that, man. It's all like my thing is this: can we at least get a grade 3 machining card that can actually help, that can actually give some type of synergy to machining, and can actually have a way to successfully replace this card so that it becomes the new boss monster? Well, apparently we're in luck because guess what? There is a card that exists. It is called Machining Black Saturn. Machining Black Saturn is a promo card that came out that has Counterblast 1, so the last one, restand all of your rear guards, and then you get Triple Drive. A card that should have came out a long time ago. This should have came out in Wave 2 of Mega Colony. Like on the low key, this definitely should have came out on Wave 2, but nah, it took way too long for this card to come out. Luckily, we're about to get this card in Clan Collection Volume 3 as a promo, as one of like the reprint cards, because you know the promo never came out because Bushiroad was being that stingy. This should have came out in Revival Collection, but they didn't. But it's alright. It's alright. We got the card now. But with that being said, I talked long enough. Thank you everybody for joining. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want. It's alright. Do videos Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But I got a special announcement. I am trying to gather I'm trying to gather a lot of Mega Colony players to do like a little interview type thing. If anybody's interested, like anywhere that I'm posting this at, regardless if it's Facebook or YouTube or whatever, try to contact me or anything else like that. But for now, my name is This Is You Nation, aka Salvation Rafa, signing out.